Chosen one. Pause for a moment and let your spirit settle, because what is unfolding right now is not coincidence, not timing, and not imagination. This is a divine notice being released over your life. Heaven has reviewed your case, and the delay that once surrounded your finances has been officially lifted. What was held back is now being authorized, and what felt stagnant is beginning to move with supernatural momentum. Anointed One, there has been activity behind the scenes that you could not see. While you were waiting, praying, and enduring in silence, the court of heaven was speaking on your behalf. As it is written in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, the vision may have seemed delayed, but it was never denied, and now it is accelerating toward fulfillment. Chosen one. This is the moment where resistance breaks confusion, lifts, and clarity replaces pressure. The weight you have been carrying is about to shift, and provision is aligning with divine timing. Stay with this message, lean in with expectation, and guard this atmosphere. If this word resonates with your spirit, quietly subscribe so you don't miss what is coming next. And as a sign of agreement, comment 777 below. What heaven has released cannot be stopped. Chosen one, hear this slowly and let it settle into your spirit. What you are experiencing right now is not delay as you once understood it. It is not punishment. It is not disqualification. It is not God withholding from you. What you are witnessing is the precise moment when heaven removes its hand from the brake and places its hand on the accelerator. The delay on your finances has been officially lifted, and that lifting did not begin today. It began in the unseen when you chose not to quit during seasons that should have broken you. Anointed One. I need you to understand something deeply. There are financial delays that come from immaturity, and then there are financial delays that come from preparation. The first delays you experienced were not because you were unworthy, but because you were being fortified. There were lessons you could only learn while resources were tight. There was discernment that could only be sharpened when options were limited. And there was humility that had to be rooted in you before increase could be trusted to your hands. I have walked through that place myself. I know what it feels like to do everything right and still feel like heaven is silent. I know what it feels like to check accounts and wonder how the numbers don't match the prayers. And I also know what it feels like when suddenly, without warning, the atmosphere changes and what was stuck begins to move. Chosen one, heaven does not lift delays emotionally. Heaven lifts delays legally. There was a set time attached to your release, and that time was not based on the calendar. It was based on alignment. The moment your spirit came into agreement with who you were becoming, not just what you wanted, the paperwork in the spirit shifted. As it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision waits for an appointed time. That means it is scheduled, authorized, and protected. It also means it cannot arrive early, and it cannot arrive late. It arrives when the vessel is ready. Anointed One. There were things you prayed for years ago that God could not release. Then not because he said no, but because if he had answered you too early, the blessing would have broken you instead of built you. I've seen this happen to people. Sudden money before healed identity. Sudden access before healed boundaries. Sudden provision before wisdom. It looks like favor at first, but it ends in chaos. God spared you from that. The delay was mercy in disguise, and now that mercy has completed its assignment. Chosen one. This is why you've felt the pressure lift recently, even though the numbers may not have changed yet. This is why your anxiety has quieted in ways you can't explain. This is why your sleep is different. This is why your appetite for certain conversations, environments, and habits has shifted. Those are not random emotional changes. Those are signs that alignment has occurred. Your spirit moved first. The resources follow. Anointed One, I want to speak to the exhaustion you carried quietly. The kind of exhaustion that didn't come from working too hard, but from carrying responsibility without reinforcement. You were strong for everyone else. You kept showing up. You kept believing. You kept honoring God, even when honoring Him seemed to cost you more than it gave you. That season ends here, not because you complained, but because you endured. Not because you demanded, but because you remained faithful. I remember a season in my own life where every month felt like spiritual warfare around finances. Not extravagance, not luxury, just survival. And in that place, God taught me something I could not have learned any other way. He taught me how to hear His voice without external confirmation. He taught me how to steward peace when provision was thin. And one day, without a dramatic announcement, without fireworks, something shifted. Opportunities aligned, conversations changed. Doors opened that had been closed for years. It did not feel chaotic, it felt calm. That's how you know it's God. Chosen One, when heaven lifts a delay, it does not do so loudly. It does so authoritatively. Things begin to line up without strain. You stop chasing, you start receiving, you stop forcing, you start discerning. You will notice that the same effort now produces greater return. That is not coincidence. That is favor meeting readiness. Anointed One, you are not stepping into reckless abundance. You are stepping into ordered increase. The kind of increase that does not pull you away from God, but anchors you deeper into purpose. The kind of wealth that does not inflate ego, but expands impact. The kind of provision that answers needs you have not even spoken yet. This is why the delay had to lift now and not before, because now you can carry it. Chosen One, I need you to hear this clearly. Your past financial stress does not disqualify you from future financial authority. It qualifies you. You understand lack without worshipping it. You understand money without idolizing it. You understand pressure without being ruled by it. That is rare. And heaven trusts rare vessels with weighty assignments. Anointed One, this is not just about money coming in. This is about your posture changing. You are moving from survival thinking to stewardship thinking, from reaction to discernment, from fear-based decisions to spirit-led strategy. You will still be wise. You will still be grounded, but you will no longer be anxious. That anxiety belonged to the delay, and the delay has been lifted. Chosen One, let this part of the message anchor you. Do not rush. Do not strive. Do not panic if everything does not manifest at once. When heaven lifts a delay, it releases momentum, not chaos. Stay aligned. Stay listening. Stay surrendered. What is moving now cannot be stopped because it is no longer being resisted by heaven itself. There is a reason this moment feels different, and it is not because circumstances suddenly improved overnight. It feels different because something has shifted in authority. When a delay is lifted by heaven, the first thing that changes is not your environment, but your internal posture. You stop bracing for disappointment. You stop calculating worst-case scenarios. You stop negotiating with fear. That quiet settling you have felt is the signal that permission has been granted in the spirit. And once permission is granted, resistance loses its power. You have lived long enough in the tension between promise and provision to recognize when something real is happening. This is not emotional hype. This is not wishful thinking. This is the calm that comes when heaven steps in and says, enough. There are seasons where God watches how you move when things are tight, not to test your loyalty, but to teach you mastery. Scarcity exposes impulses, pressure reveals patterns, and you did not collapse under that weight. You adapted, you grew, you became precise. That precision is now becoming profitable. Anointed One, I want to speak honestly here, not just prophetically. There were moments when you questioned yourself, not God. You wondered if you misheard, if you waited too long, if you made one wrong decision that derailed everything. That inner dialogue did more damage than the lack itself, and heaven has been healing that first. Before resources increase, self-trust must be restored. Before doors open, confidence must be rebuilt. Otherwise, you would walk into blessing already apologizing for being there. That is not how God elevates His chosen. I have watched this pattern repeat in real life, not theory. I have seen people receive sudden money and lose themselves because they never learned how to stand steady when nothing was coming in. I have also seen people come through years of quiet pressure and then step into increase with such grace that it didn't even look dramatic. It just looked right. That is what is happening with you. This shift is not loud, it is correct. And what is correct does not need to announce itself. Chosen One. There is a difference between being delayed and being positioned. Delay feels heavy, confusing, and exhausting. Positioning feels quiet, intentional, and focused. You have crossed that threshold. That is why certain desires have fallen away. You are no longer chasing validation purchases. You are no longer tempted to prove yourself financially. You are no longer measuring your worth by what you can afford this week. Those were symptoms of the delay. They are dissolving now because you are stepping into stewardship, not survival. When Scripture speaks of God giving power to get wealth, it is not referring to hustle or grind. It is referring to clarity. The clarity to see what others miss. The discipline to say no when yes would be easier. The patience to wait for the right opportunity instead of grabbing the nearest one. That clarity has been forming in you quietly, and now that it is mature, heaven can trust it with movement. Anointed One, you are going to notice that the way money comes to you begins to change. It will no longer feel like rescue. It will feel like response. Conversations will carry weight, ideas will stick, timing will tighten. You will begin to sense when to move and when to wait, not because you analyzed it, but because something in you knows. That knowing is not instinct, it is alignment. And alignment produces efficiency. There is also something important you need to release right now. The shame of past financial struggle. Not guilt, shame. Shame whispers that you are behind, that you failed, that others are ahead of you. That voice has been lying to you. Your timeline was custom built. The lessons you learned were specific. The discipline you developed was necessary. You are not late. You are prepared. And what you are stepping into now will make sense of everything that confused you before. I want you to understand this next part deeply. When heaven lifts a delay, it does not mean there will never be challenges again. It means challenges will no longer dominate you. Bills may still arrive, but they will no longer intimidate you. Decisions will still matter, but they will no longer paralyze you. You are moving into a season where money becomes a tool, not a threat. And that psychological shift is as important as the provision itself. Chosen One. This is also why boundaries matter more now than ever, not just with people but with habits, thoughts, and language. The way you speak about money is changing. You no longer joke about being broke. You no longer casually declare lack, not because you are pretending but because your spirit knows better. Words are containers. You are learning to speak in ways that can hold what is coming. I remember a time when I had to consciously stop narrating my struggle out loud. Not because it wasn't real, but because repeating it kept me anchored there. The moment I learned to honor what God was doing silently instead of explaining what wasn't working yet, things began to shift. That is a discipline you are stepping into now. You don't owe everyone an explanation. You don't need external validation. You are moving with heaven, not the crowd. Anointed One, your financial future is no longer being decided by effort alone. It is being guided by insight. You will work, yes. You will be diligent, yes. But you will not be frantic. You will not be scattered. You will not be driven by fear of loss. That fear belonged to the delay, and the delay has been lifted. There is also a generational component to this shift. You are not just breaking personal patterns. You are interrupting cycles. The anxiety around money that you inherited, observed, or absorbed stops with you. The scarcity thinking that felt normal in your environment is losing its grip. You are becoming a new reference point. That responsibility may feel heavy at times, but it is also deeply meaningful. Heaven does not assign weight without providing strength. Chosen One, do not underestimate how much you have changed already. You are calmer, you are sharper, you are less reactive. Those are signs of readiness, and readiness attracts provision, not magically, but structurally. Systems respond to stability. Opportunities seek clarity. Resources move toward order. That is why things are aligning now. Stay present in this moment. Do not rush ahead mentally. Do not rehearse fear-based scenarios. Do not second-guess what your spirit already knows. What is unfolding now does not need your anxiety to work. It needs your trust. And you have learned how to trust not blindly, but deeply. That trust is about to be rewarded in ways that feel grounded, sustainable, and unmistakably guided. There is another layer to this shift that needs to be spoken aloud, because many chosen ones misunderstand what happens after a delay is lifted. They assume everything will suddenly feel easy, obvious, and fast. But heaven does not replace delay with chaos. It replaces delay with direction. What you are stepping into now is not randomness. It is sequence, and sequence requires discernment. Anointed One, one of the clearest signs that your finances are coming back into divine order is that your discernment around opportunities has sharpened. You are no longer impressed by quick money. You are no longer tempted by things that glitter but lack substance. Offers that once would have pulled you emotionally now feel hollow. That is not boredom, that is maturity. Heaven is training you to recognize what belongs to you before it ever reaches your hands. I need to be honest here from lived experience, not theory. There was a season in my life when every opportunity felt like salvation. Every door felt like it had to be forced open because I didn't know when the next one would come. That desperation made me overlook red flags, ignore timing, and carry weight I wasn't meant to hold. When God began lifting delay from my life, the first thing He corrected was not my income, but my urgency. He taught me how to wait without anxiety and move without fear. That lesson alone changed everything. Chosen One. You are entering a phase where speed without clarity would be dangerous. That is why things are unfolding in an ordered way. Heaven is not rushing you because heaven is not afraid of scarcity. You no longer need to grab what passes by. What is assigned to you will not miss you. That confidence is settling into your spirit now, even if you can't fully explain it. There is also something important happening with your identity. During the delay, your sense of self was tested. You had to confront questions like, who am I when provision is thin, and do I still trust God when results are slow? Those questions were uncomfortable, but they purified you. Now that the delay has lifted, you are not stepping into wealth as someone who needs money to feel whole. You are stepping in as someone who is already anchored. That difference will protect you. Anointed One. I want you to hear this clearly. Not every open door in this season is meant to be walked through. Some are distractions dressed as breakthroughs. The delay taught you patience. This season will teach you selection. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to pray before responding. You are allowed to say no without explaining yourself. The urgency that once ruled you has been broken. You may already be noticing subtle changes in how people respond to you. Conversations feel more intentional. Certain individuals are drawn to you with curiosity, not pity. That shift is not ego, it is authority. When heaven lifts delay, it also restores presence. You carry yourself differently now, not louder, not arrogant, just steady. People sense that, and the right people respond to it. Chosen one, there is also a restructuring happening in how you think about provision. You are no longer asking, "How will I survive?" You are beginning to ask, "How do I steward?" That is a dangerous question for fear, but a powerful one for heaven. Stewardship attracts increase because it signals readiness. You are thinking beyond immediate relief now. You are thinking in terms of sustainability, impact, and purpose. This is why you are being given insight before income, wisdom before wealth, strategy before surplus. That order matters. I have watched people receive money before they received clarity, and it only magnified confusion. What is coming to you is designed to settle you, not scatter you, to strengthen you, not stress you, to expand your influence, not expose your wounds. Anointed one, do not be surprised if the first manifestations of this lifted delay come in the form of ideas, not deposits, conversations, not contracts, access, not cash. That is how heaven often works. It changes the flow before it changes the figures. And if you honor the flow, the figures will follow. I want to speak directly to the fear of what if this goes away. That fear is common after long seasons of lack. You get used to instability, so peace feels unfamiliar. You may catch yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop. That is not intuition, that is residue, and residue fades with truth. The truth is, what is being built now is not fragile. It is not dependent on one moment or one person. It is layered, supported, and aligned. Chosen one, you are also being asked to trust yourself again. During the delay, you may have doubted your judgment. You replayed decisions. You wondered if you missed signs. That self-distrust served a purpose for a time, but it cannot follow you forward. Heaven is restoring confidence in your discernment because you will need it. The next phase requires decisive action rooted in peace, not hesitation rooted in fear. I have learned that one of the clearest signs of divine alignment is when decisions become simpler, not more complicated. You stop overthinking. You stop rehearsing outcomes. You choose from a grounded place. That simplicity is beginning to return to you, and with it comes momentum. Anointed one, the delay being lifted does not mean your life becomes perfect. It means your life becomes ordered. And order is more powerful than ease. Order creates room for growth. Order sustains blessing. Order allows you to breathe again. You are not stepping into financial elevation to escape responsibility. You are stepping into it to carry it well. That is why this season feels weighty but peaceful at the same time. You are not being rushed. You are being entrusted. Stay aware, stay present, stay honest with God about what you feel, not just what you believe. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not recovering. You are advancing, quietly, steadily, with heaven backing every step you take. There is a sacred responsibility that comes with what is unfolding now, and it needs to be named so you don't misinterpret the calm as permission to disengage. When heaven lifts a delay, it does not remove discipline, it refines it. The same God who authorized the release is the God who now teaches you how to walk with it without losing your center. This is where many stumble, not because they lack faith, but because they underestimate the quiet instructions that follow a breakthrough. Chosen one. You are being invited into a slower, deeper obedience, not the kind driven by fear of loss, but the kind rooted in trust. You will notice that your spirit is becoming less reactive to urgency cues. Deadlines that once panicked you no longer hijack your peace. Opinions that once swayed you no longer carry weight. This is not detachment, it is alignment. Your nervous system is learning a new rhythm, one that matches provision rather than pressure. Anointed one. I want to ground this in lived reality. There was a time when I thought relief meant everything would speed up. More calls, more demands, more movement. Instead, what came first was space. Space to think clearly, space to sleep without calculating, space to say no without guilt. That space felt unfamiliar at first, almost suspicious, but it was necessary. Without space, you can't steward increase. Without margin, blessing becomes burden. You are stepping into margin now, not excess, not indulgence margin. The ability to pause before responding, the freedom to choose quality over quantity, the confidence to wait for confirmation rather than chasing momentum. Margin protects the soul, and heaven is very protective of your soul in this season. Chosen one. Another sign that the delay has been lifted is the way conflict is resolving itself without your interference. Situations that once drained you are losing their grip. People who thrived on your anxiety are stepping back. Conversations that used to loop endlessly are concluding. That is not coincidence. When authority shifts, friction decreases. You are no longer required to fight for what is already authorized. Anointed one, be mindful of nostalgia. After long seasons of struggle, the mind can romanticize survival. You might catch yourself returning to old habits just in case. Overworking to feel safe. Over-explaining to feel accepted. Over-saving to feel in control. Those habits kept you alive, but they are not meant to lead you now. Gratitude for where you came from does not require you to live there again. There is also a subtle invitation in this season to redefine success, not as arrival, but as alignment sustained, not as accumulation, but as impact guided. The wealth shift you are walking into is not designed to elevate your image, it is designed to expand your assignment. That distinction matters. When image leads, anxiety follows. When assignment leads, peace remains. Chosen one, pay attention to how your generosity is changing, not just in money, but in presence. You are more patient, more attentive, less guarded. That softening is not weakness, it is safety returning to the body. When provision stabilizes, the heart relaxes, and a relaxed heart can hear God more clearly than a stressed one ever could. Anointed one, you may also notice resistance when you try to rush ahead. Plans that look good on paper but feel wrong in your spirit. Opportunities that promise speed but cost peace. This is where discernment becomes protection. You are not being blocked, you are being buffered. Heaven is creating distance between you and what would dilute your focus. Trust that resistance is information, not opposition. I need to say this plainly. Not everyone who celebrates you now is assigned to you next. Some people are drawn to movement, not mission. They feel the shift and want proximity, but not responsibility. You are allowed to move quietly. You are allowed to keep plans private. You are allowed to grow without an audience. Privacy is not secrecy, it is stewardship. Chosen one. One of the greatest tests after a delay lifts is restraint. The urge to announce, explain, or prove that something has changed. Resist that urge. Let fruit speak. Let consistency speak. Let time confirm what heaven has already decided. The most powerful shifts often happen without commentary. I remember learning that lesson the hard way, sharing too soon, inviting opinions that diluted clarity. It took time to realize that not every witness is a supporter, and not every question deserves an answer. You are learning that now, but with more grace than I had then. Your silence is becoming strategic, not defensive. Anointed One, your prayer life is also evolving. You are asking fewer questions and listening more. You are not begging for outcomes. You are aligning with instruction. This is a sign of maturity. When you trust God's timing, you stop negotiating with Him. You start partnering with Him. That partnership is where authority grows. There is also a recalibration happening around how you view risk. You are not reckless, but you are no longer paralyzed. You understand that faith is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to be governed by it. You move when led. You wait when instructed. That balance will keep you safe as increase comes. Chosen One, understand this. The delay being lifted does not mean you will never feel uncertain again. It means uncertainty will no longer define your decisions. You are learning to hold ambiguity without panic. That skill will serve you well in rooms you haven't entered yet. As you move forward, honor the small confirmations. A conversation that opens clarity. A decision that brings peace. A boundary that protects energy. These are not minor, they are markers. Heaven often confirms direction through simplicity, not spectacle. Anointed One, you are not walking into a season of striving. You are walking into a season of cooperation. With God, with wisdom, with timing. Let your pace reflect that. Let your choices honor that. Let your rest affirm that. What is unfolding now is sustainable because it is rooted. You are rooted, and rooted things grow quietly before they rise visibly. Stay grounded. Stay receptive. Stay aligned. The authority that lifted the delay is the same authority guiding your steps now, and it will not abandon you mid-journey. There is a quiet confidence forming in you now, and it is unlike anything you have carried before. It is not excitement fueled by expectation, and it is not optimism born from circumstances. It is assurance rooted in knowing who is backing you. When heaven lifts a delay, it does not merely change outcomes, it changes posture. You are no longer leaning forward hoping something catches you. You are standing upright, aware that what is coming will meet you where you are. Chosen One. This is where trust deepens. Not trust that everything will go your way, but trust that whatever comes will be navigable because you are no longer alone in it. You have learned how to walk with God without needing constant reassurance. You have learned how to keep moving even when answers were incomplete. That endurance has produced something solid in you, something steady. That steadiness is what wealth, influence, and responsibility require in order to remain a blessing instead of becoming a burden. Anointed One. One of the greatest transformations you are experiencing now is internal authority. You are no longer waiting for permission to take yourself seriously. You are no longer shrinking your vision to fit past limitations. That shift did not happen overnight. It came through repetition, through obedience in obscurity, through choosing integrity when compromise would have been easier. You are not becoming someone new. You are returning to who you were always meant to be, but with wisdom added. I want to speak to the part of you that still feels cautious. That caution is not unbelief. It is discernment adjusting to a new reality. You have lived long enough without guarantees to value stability over spectacle. Heaven honors that. God does not bypass your humanity to bless you. He integrates it. The same part of you that learned to survive is now learning how to sustain. That transition deserves patience. Chosen One. You will notice that your prayers are becoming quieter. but more potent. You are not filling space with words. You are listening for instruction. You are sensing direction before asking questions. This is not distance from God. This is intimacy. When you trust someone deeply, conversation becomes efficient. You do not need to explain everything. You understand each other. That is what is happening between you and heaven. Anointed One, be attentive to the subtle invitations in this season. A nudge to revisit an idea you shelved. A sense of peace around a decision you once feared. A conversation that feels timely without being dramatic. These are not coincidences. They are gentle alignments. Heaven often confirms direction through peace, not pressure. Learn to honor that peace, even when it contradicts logic. There is also a healing happening around your relationship with time. You are no longer measuring your life against others. You are no longer racing invisible deadlines. You understand now that timing is not about speed, but about sequence. What arrives out of order creates confusion. What arrives in order creates momentum. Your life is moving into order, and order brings rest. Chosen One. This rest is not laziness. It is confidence without performance. You no longer need to prove that you deserve what God is doing. You know that you are walking in alignment, and alignment does not require justification. This rest will protect you as responsibilities increase. It will keep you from burnout. It will keep you from resentment. It will keep your heart soft, even as your influence grows. Anointed One. Your financial life is becoming integrated with your values. You are no longer separating spirituality from strategy. You are no longer choosing between faith and wisdom. You are learning how they work together. This integration will lead you into decisions that are both practical and prophetic, grounded and inspired, calculated and surrendered. That balance is rare and it is powerful. You may also find that your definition of abundance is expanding. It is no longer limited to numbers on a screen. It includes freedom of choice, clarity of mind, and alignment of purpose. Money will serve these things, not replace them. When abundance is defined this way, it stops controlling you and starts supporting you. Chosen One, do not be surprised if people from your past resurface during this time. Not all of them are meant to stay. Some are simply witnesses to change. Others are reminders of how far you have come. Approach these moments with grace, not obligation. You do not owe access to everyone who remembers your struggle. You owe stewardship to what God is building now. Anointed One, you are also learning how to receive without apology. Compliments no longer embarrass you. Support no longer makes you uncomfortable. You are allowing good things to land without deflecting them. This is not pride, it is healing. When you stop rejecting blessings, you stop rejecting parts of yourself that God has redeemed. There is a quiet joy beginning to surface in you. Not the kind that demands expression, but the kind that steadies you. It shows up in small moments, in gratitude, in presence, in the ability to enjoy what is happening without fearing its loss. This joy is a byproduct of trust, and trust is the foundation of everything you are stepping into. Chosen One. As this chapter unfolds, remember that growth does not always feel like expansion. Sometimes it feels like simplicity, fewer distractions, clearer priorities, stronger boundaries. These are signs of maturity, not limitation. You are not narrowing your life, you are refining it. Anointed One, let your pace remain intentional. Let your decisions remain prayerful. Let your confidence remain anchored. You do not need to rush toward outcomes. What is meant for you is already moving in your direction. Stay responsive, not reactive. Stay grounded, not guarded. Stay open, not anxious. The delay has been lifted, but the journey continues. Not as a test, but as a partnership. You are walking with God now, not waiting on Him. And that changes everything. Chosen one, receive this moment with reverence, because what has been spoken over your life in this hour has already been sealed in the Spirit. The delay that once stood in front of your finances no longer has authority. Heaven has released the command and movement has begun. What was restrained is now in transition. What was held back is now finding you. Anointed one, you are standing in your kairos moment, not a season of waiting, but a season of alignment. The hand of God is upon your path, ordering your steps with precision and peace. Even now, a supernatural transfer is in motion, unfolding in ways you may not yet see, but your spirit already recognizes. Stay attentive, stay surrendered, stay grateful. I declare over you clarity where there was confusion, provision where there was pressure, and confidence where there was once concern. May your heart remain steady, your discernment sharp, and your faith unshaken as heaven brings into the natural what was authorized in the unseen. Chosen one, walk forward with quiet confidence. Guard this atmosphere. Carry this word gently and let gratitude prepare the ground for what is about to manifest. If this message resonated with your spirit, stay connected to this channel, and as a sign of agreement, comment 777 and share this word with someone who is waiting for confirmation. Go in peace. Heaven is not finished with you.